This week on a Couch Talking Sports, Kyle and Robbie have a special announcement to make.
We're in the dark! Alright, turn the freaking lights on so we can do this.
Everyone's just be so confused. Like,
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Darkmas!
Merry Darkmas. Alright. What's up, everybody? Happy holidays and welcome to this edition of On a Couch Talking Sports in a Car. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, how are you? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, dude. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yes, cool. The holidays are upon us, both in terms of date and weather, and that also means that we are nearing the end of the year 2020, which has been quite a year for the record books.
It really has been
in so many ways.
It's been a year.
It's been a year. It really has. It is, and we don't just say that because it literally has been a year. It has just been quite a year. From start to finish. It's been nothing short of craziness, and I think a lot of us will be quite pleased to a few days from now to welcome in the new year 2021 and hope for good things ahead. But speaking of the year 2020, if you remember, if you've been watching us since at least back at the beginning of the year 2020, Kyle and I made some predictions, sports predictions for the year 2020. And so with this being our final episode of the year 2020, don't worry, not our final episode, period. We'll be back in 2021, don't you worry.
Yeah, we're going to drive right on in, aren't we?
Yeah, sure. No, what we wanted to do tonight is sort of go back to January, back to a simpler time, really simpler time. And seriously, and take a look back at what our predictions were and whether or not they came true or not. And actually, the surprising thing is, like, all of our predictions became were attainable in the year 2020. With all that was going on, we somehow managed to make predictions that still came to fruition one way or the other.
There you go.
Mainly the other, as you'll find out here coming up. But so let's get right into it, Kyle, and we'll start with my predictions.
Okay.
Now, my first prediction for the year 2020 was that the San Francisco 49ers would win the Super Bowl. That was played back in February, and I was wrong. I know, stunning. The Niners did make it to the Super Bowl.
There you go.
However, they lost in the big game to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
In Miami again back in February. Right? No, the Chiefs were actually favored.
They were favored. Okay.
Yeah, the Chiefs were favored, but Niners had a lead in the fourth quarter. They were up by 10 points in the fourth quarter, but unfortunately, the Chiefs came back and ruined my prediction.
And their victory.
Yeah, and their victory hopes ultimately, like I said, taking home Super Bowl glory. So unfortunately, I was 0 for 1 on that one. My second prediction, related to hockey, was that the Boston Bruins would win the Eastern Conference title. That prediction was wrong. The Bruins did make it to the playoffs after the NHL, shut down for 4 months. They did come back in the bubble and made it, obviously, to the playoffs. Won a playoff series against the Hurricanes, but at the end of the day, came up short, falling in the second round to the Tampa Bay Lightning, 4-1. Obviously, a disappointing end to what was a really promising season, and obviously a lot of questions if there had been no shutdown and all these different things, would things have ended differently? But ultimately, they came up short, so I go 0 for 2 in my predictions. And the third and final prediction that I made was that the BC football team would win more than 7 games, and that one was wrong.
Oh,
As
sorry,
they went
BC.
6-5 this season, unfortunately. It was, hey, listen, it was a great first year under new head coach Jeff Halfley. The program has a lot to be optimistic about heading forward. However, the first year magic did not quite translate into more victories than usual. So, shockingly, I know it's going to be to you and to you out there, I was 0 for 3 in my 2020 predictions. I know this has never happened before. I think you just witnessed on a couch talking sports history with me falling flat on my face with all 3 of my 2020 predictions. So.
I mean, but then again, like, you know, I'm looking at those predictions, especially like with the Bruins and with BC. You know, okay, like I can understand the first one, but like the last 2 ones, like, were kind of they all pretty much happened like within like COVID, so it's like, you know, no one was gonna predict that really. So
true. Yeah, if anybody predicted a pandemic in 2020, you could have made a lot of money off of that prediction.
Yeah, right.
So now I will turn to my co-host and give his predictions. And
I forget what they were, to be honest.
Can he get 1? All he needs is 1 to top me this year. Okay. So we'll see. Kyle's first prediction that he made at the beginning of 2020 was that Tom Brady would return to the New England Patriots for another season, for the 2020 season. No, that did not happen. Tom Brady, as we all know, did return for another season in the NFL, but it was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You win some, you lose them.
So, yeah, unfortunately, no more TB12 roaming the Gillette sidelines this year, which is very sad. Your second prediction was that the Seattle Seahawks would win the Super Bowl. That prediction, as we just established 2 minutes ago, was also wrong.
I really thought I had that one right.
Yeah, the Seahawks, unfortunately, they did make the playoffs and they made it to the divisional round, but then they lost to the Green Bay Packers. So Russell Wilson and squad could not get it done. Now, here's your chance at atonement right here, Kyle, on your third pick. Because this third prediction lies entirely within your hands here, because I actually do not know what the answer was to this prediction. So you could, if you wanted to, you could actually lie and give yourself 1 if you really wanted to. Because that third prediction for 2020 that you made back last January was that at some point during the year 2020, you would teach your preschoolers track. Now, I need to ask you, Kyle, and again, you can lie to me. Nobody's going to know, because I certainly don't know the answer. Did that 2020 predictions house resolution, as you put it, come true in the year 2020?
Well, how do I explain that? I'm going to say a little bit yes, but mostly no.
Well, if you at least even on an iota taught them track, you can still count this as a yes.
I mean, oh geez, did I even like teach them anything about track, like long jump or running? I mean, they know how to run pretty well. I was hoping I talked to them about track a little bit, if that counts for anything, but
you know what, we'll give it to you. Okay. We'll give it to you. For the sake of having a winner to this 2020 prediction contest, we will give you credit for that.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't in the way I was hoping. You know, I had this grand plan, and this was, mind you, I have a new class this year. We started in September.
Correct.
I was hoping to do this with my old class. That was kind of my hope. I could do this before September of this year, and unfortunately, because of circumstances, wasn't gonna happen. So
at least you talked to them about it, so you kind of fulfilled that resolution.
Kind of. Well, I talked to my new class more about it. So,
but still, it was in the year 2020, and it was a class talking about teaching them about track. So
kind of.
Like I said, well, I'm giving it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Whether you want to accept it or not, it's completely up to you. But I'm giving it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Just for the sake of both of us not going over 3 on our predictions.
Woo, I guess.
Woohoo! Yeah, we are awesome at prognosticating. Yeah,
sure. Okay.
All right. Right. This is our prognostications. Whoa, where'd that bomb come from? Jeez, okay. But that's okay. You know what? 2020 was a crazy year, so a lot of people's predictions got thrown for a loop. That's for sure. A lot of people's resolutions got thrown for a loop. That's for sure as well. Who would have thought back in January that we would be 2 days before Christmas Day broadcasting this show from a car wearing masks? Yeah, it's the way of the world these days. But yeah, so in the spirit of hopefully moving forward to a more positive 2021, I'm symbolically crumpling up our 2020 predictions and throwing them away.
All right.
I'll actually throw those away later.
Hey, stop laying in my car. No.
So now we move on. So now that we sort of have gone through our false prognostications, it is time for the last time this year to do our 2 favorite segments of the show. And that's, of course, Robbie's favorite football recap and the Sue's reviews. And in the spirit of the holidays and giving, I'm going to let Kyle go first today with his final 2020 installment of the Sue's reviews. Kyle, take it away.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess I might as well. You know what? Because it was an interesting year, I might as well. I wanted to finish off strong, so I might as well finish off by continuing the Prince of Persia series that I'm reviewing. I was gonna continue it into January. I still will, but unfortunately, the Prince of Persia game is not going to come out in January anymore, like I had hoped. It's now been pushed to March, so oh well, whatever. Anyways, I'm still going. I don't care. This train's still moving, so I wanted to talk about.
The train is on the tracks, folks.
Exactly. Yep. Once it's there, you can't stop the train, right?
No.
So I wanted to go into. So before I talked about the Prince of Persia trilogy, The Sands of Time, which is a very, very, very well-renowned trilogy, great trilogy. So I wanted to go over into the Prince of Persia reboot, simply titled Prince of Persia. Has nothing to do with Sands of Time. You know, this is a completely different prince. And what's interesting about this story is that, so the prince in this story is a little bit more sarcastic. He kind of reminds me of like Kurt Russell from like Big Trouble in Little China. They even have a little blurb at the beginning where he's trying to find his donkey, just like Kurt Russell's character was trying to find his truck. So, so they have that kind of like parallel there, which is funny. So it's interesting because this game in particular is the easiest Prince of Persia game you will ever play. Because the thing is, they kept the platforming and they kept the boss fights and the battles, but they basically they changed one key thing though. So in the game, you could still die and you could turn back time, but you know, you didn't have unlimited sand vials. You had a limited amount. So, you know, if you died in battle or died jumping platforms enough, then you'd have to start the level over again if you ran out of sand. In this particular game, every time you fall, this girl just saves you. So, like, you literally can't die in this game.
Really?
Yes. So, basically, the prince teams up with this magical girl who you have to basically fight her father, who has gone evil. He's trying to take over the land. And it's this big, like, a pretty good size, like, free roam land. They kind of took what they did in Prince of... Oh.
Okay.
Oh, did I run out of battery?
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Hold on. Let me try some... Hold on. Let me try this. Oh, no.
Oh, that was awkward. We're in the dark, folks.
Well, we're gonna have to do the rest of the review in the dark. So, hi guys. Hope you guys can see me.
Yeah, I think we could see us.
I hope I hope I didn't blow my fuse in my car or anything. I might need a new car battery. Well, anyways, hopefully my car can start after this.
Well, your thing's still on, so maybe that's promising.
I guess that's promising. Let's test the radio.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good. Anyways, thank you, Scorpions, for doing the test run there. So, this is interesting. I guess we're just going to have to bend down until
the year 2020, folks.
Source of light.
That's right. Continue. We fight through adversity here.
Okay, so it's a very interesting game because it's a free roam game, like the second game was, Warrior Within. But this time they gave you a map and they gave you kind of a little bit more clear direction on where you're supposed to go, which is nice. But yeah, you can't die. You know, you don't have any sands, you can't turn back time, but you can't die. Like every time you fall down, or even if you lose in battle, the girl's gonna revive you like right away. So it's like a team game. It's like a partner game sort of, where you're the prince, you're doing the fighting, but the girl's doing the cool magic stuff, and she's basically preventing you from dying the whole game. It's a very fun game. They still got they made the platforming very smooth, which is really nice. So you can go from area to area. It has kind of I like it because it has this very free flow parkour element, and I love that. I love that about that game. You know, even though, yeah, a lot of people are going to complain it's too easy, but it's still a lot of fun. You know, I really liked it. The graphics were great. It had a very cool style, kind of had like a cel-shaded style almost. It was visually just a very beautiful game. And, yeah, the combat was good. They changed the combat too, because what happened is, excuse me. You don't have as many enemies on screen at once that you fight. You actually kind of like the battles are more duels. So you fight one-on-one usually with the enemies, and it's kind of cool. You know, they did do a really cool battle system. Some of it's kind of timed. You can't just go in hacking and slashing. You have to like time your hits very well, and that worked pretty well. You know. And sometimes they have like different platforming segments, like they time it, you have to like get out of an area before it explodes or something like that. It's very cool. It's a good game, you know. The story's pretty interesting. Once you play till the end, you'll see some really interesting twists. So, you know, it's the first game that came out for that next generation of that year for 360, PS3. If you want to play a solid Prince of Persia game, you don't care if you don't care if it's too easy or not. You know, if you don't mind literally how easy this game is, then I think you'll have a good time with it. Just Prince of Persia 2008, great game.
Nice. Well, thank you, Kyle, for that final 2020 installment of the Sue's Reviews. Another well-done one, as always. And now it is time for the final 2020 Robbie's Favorite Football Recap. Unfortunately, we have to say rest in peace to the Patriots' 2020 playoff hopes, as they were eliminated from playoff contention this past weekend, falling to the Miami Dolphins 22-12, which now puts their record at 6-8. The Patriots could still achieve a 500 record if they win the last two games, but for the first time since 2008, I think you're gonna have to turn the car on if you want the lights to actually.
I know, I have the battery on, but
yeah.
Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay.
Told you.
Yep, good call.
Hi. But so for the first time since 2008. The Patriots will not be appearing in the postseason. Actually, for the first time since 2000, they will not have an above 500 record. So at the end of a lot of streaks this year, unfortunately, for the New England Patriots. But we will move on. We will persevere. And next episode, I will finish up the Robbie's Favorite Football Recap with the recap of the last two games of the regular season this coming Sunday and then the following Sunday, as they take on both Bills and the Jets, respectively. So, that is going to wrap up our final 2020 installment of On a Couch Talking Sports, which was kind of the year 2020 encapsulated for us right there. But hey, listen, in all seriousness, on behalf of Kyle and myself, I just want to say happy holidays, everybody. Whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate, we hope you have a happy holiday season. A happy, just stay safe, stay healthy. You know, wherever, whenever, whatever your holiday season brings. Like I said, we hope it's an enjoyable one and a safe one as well. And we wanted to say thank you, obviously, to all of you who have continued to follow us along this journey through this year, whether you just joined us this year, whether you just joined us this episode, or even have been with us since the very beginning when we started this. We will be back in 2021 better than ever and ready for some more exciting episodes of On a Couch Talking Sports. So Happy New Year as well. Anything else from you, Kyle?
No, just like I think you said it best, Robbie. You know, have a merry holiday and Happy New Year, and you know, don't let these times get you down. We'll get through this, guys.
So
all right?
We're all in this together, even though we're physically apart. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports in a Car. Thanks as always for joining us, and again, Happy New Year. He's Kyle, I'm Robbie, and we will see you in 2021. Bye, everybody.
Cool.
Recording our little shenanigans here.
There we go.
Yeah.
Tip it just a little bit.
You just missed like 10 seconds of gold, but now we're both Bane in the movie Bane.
Well, look at this epic lighting. I feel like look, half my face is dark now, so I can be like very mysterious. Nobody knew who I was until I put the mask on.
Me with the mask.
Two very different versions of Bane. I like that.
I don't even know what I was doing just then, so.
I can go like this and go like, nobody, I was born in it, murdered by it.
Sure.
You feel it?
I got nothing.
Oh no. Oh, Batman. Oh. Okay.
Unbelievable.
That didn't happen in Dark Knight Rises.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening right now. So.
I don't think anyone does.
Alright, so we're ready to, for this episode, take a look back at our 2020 predictions, which, by the way, like, basically all either came to fruition either way. So that's good. So that's right? Good.
That's pretty awesome.
And then for on the next episode, we'll do our 2021 predictions.
Sweet. We'll do like a follow-up. So make sure you get more screen time.
Sweet.
I feel like I'm taking all the screen time. There we go.
You always take all the screen time.
I know.
Makes me so sad.
Oops. Whoopsies.
Whoopsie daisy.
A whoopsie daisies.
Whoopsie daisy.